Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new session of the HPP Innovation Week 2022, hosted by Hyperbaric. In this session, we will discuss about latest innovation, nutritional products and functional products and nutritional supplements. And for that purpose, we will have two very interesting speakers. That we will have Herman Suthinger from Brain Luxury. How are you, Herman?
Fine, David. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you, David.
And we will also have Francine Covelli from Nourish Cold Press Juice. Hi,
Hi,
Francine.
David. Hi, Herman. Thank you for having me.
Great to see you. Okay, guys. So let's start with the session itself. First, we will have Herman presenting about the Brain Luxury company. Herman is the co-founder, CEO, and chief supply chain officer of the company. Is the business engineer and the link between the science discoveries, brand, and the subsequent fulfillment of human business needs. He has more than 25 years of leadership and management experience within hospitality, FMCG, startup, and consultancy industries. So, Herman, when you are ready, you can start sharing your presentation and telling us more about your very interesting products.
David, thank you for the introduction. I will just start the presentation. Maybe you can just give me a signal when you can see it.
Yeah. We can see it now.
Perfect. So thank you for the invitation. Thank you that you have invited Brain Luxury to the HPP Innovation Week 2022. Why and how we want to disrupt the sleep supplement industry. That's why I'm here today. My name is Herman Schützing and I'm co-founder and CEO of Brain Luxury. If you look at the latest news which were communicated just last week, it is really terrifying how many kids are already getting sick from downing melatonin pills. This was published last week, and it's a study from the CDC, and more than 50,000 people in the year 2021 got sick and needed treatment because of melatonin pills. This is 6 times more than 10 years ago. This is just an indication how people are using sleeping pills, especially melatonin, artificial melatonin pills, like vitamins or anything similar. If you look at the change in our lifestyle, the CDC, the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, communicated that this is a public health threat. 4 out of 10 Americans have already sleeping problems. And the picture indicates a bit why this is actually happening. So we are all 24/7 digital available. The nutrition, stress, our traveling patterns, the irregular sleep schedules, alcohol, nicotine, and other medications. But we could say now, yeah, so we have sleeping problems, but why is this a real problem? Because sleeping problems have been linked to heart diseases, diabetes, depression, obesity, and cancer. And this is really serious. And that's the reason why it's a public health threat. And that's the reason why we from Brain Luxury, we do what we want to do. We want to disrupt the sleep supplement industry. But how to get rid of the problem? Change the lifestyle? People like quick fixes. And quick fix number 1 in the US is artificial melatonin. And if you look at the growth of the sales numbers, in 2005 it was 100 million. But in 2021 it was $1.4 billion. And the forecast for the next 5 years, it's an incremental $1 billion, so almost $2.5 billion. This sales growth demonstrates how popular artificial melatonin is. Artificial melatonin is not regulated by the FDA as a drug. It's a supplement. And the lack of regulation and over-the-counter availability are impacting the quality and play down the possible side effects like headaches, dizziness, nausea, and most importantly, derail sleep-awake rhythm. That's why sleep scientists recommend a 14 days sleep and nutrition logbook to find out when and how much artificial melatonin would be actually helpful. This is a very complex procedure. And still, the risk remains that the sleep-awake rhythm will be just influenced. This is the why what I have presented now. Why we want to disrupt the sleep supplement industry. We believe our body should do what it was built to do naturally. That's a great statement, but how should this actually work? Based on science, we have identified ingredients that help the body to build melatonin naturally. Oils, vitamins, amino acids, minerals, organic fruit juice. Our ingredients are functioning as precursor for natural melatonin. So your body decides when and how much melatonin is needed. That's why we can claim Delta, our product, supports natural sleep. If you look at what our customers are reporting, 71% are falling asleep faster, 74% sleep better, 84% waking up more refreshed. If you look at people with sleep tracking devices like Whoop, Aura, or Fitbit, or others, they have reported and shared data with us by using Delta that they have significantly increased their deep sleep phase when they had insufficient deep sleep, so less than 90 minutes. And what does this mean? All sleep stages are necessary for good health, but deep sleep offers specific physical and mental benefits, like build and repair muscles, immune system functions, cognitive functions, full recharge, and memory formation. And that also helps to be better prepared for the next day, to perform on the next day, to be energized on the next day, to be in a good mood. We're only using safe ingredients. We're not using animal products. We're not using added preservatives. We're not having gluten in our product, and we're not adding sugar. On top of this, there's also no risk of contamination because we have our own brain luxury manufacturing room and only producing our own products. We have 2 patents pending, which includes the mix of the ingredients and the production process. Just to deep dive a bit, the mix of the ingredients, and as you can see, our bottle with the ingredients, the main component groups, the oil phase on top, and then the juice phase enriched with the amino acids and minerals in one container together. That's also one of the reasons why HPP is so important, but I will share this later. The production process, because it was not possible until now to put these components together and be able to have a shelf life which allows us to deliver this product to the customer, and the customer can store it in the fridge and then consume it when they need it. The HPP technology from hyperbaric helped us to offer natural sleep as an alternative to artificial melatonin. I want to highlight 4 major benefits. One was the microbiological stability. One, it retains the nutrients, keeps natural taste, and the shelf life extension. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Herman. That was very, very interesting.
Welcome.
And thank you, by the way, because I have some of your products here that I'm trying, and I want to take the chance to show the audience the real bottle and how the product looks like. And I have to
Please
say that
don't do it during the conference. You might fall asleep.
yeah, I have to say that it actually works. So yeah, it's a very, very nice product.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
As
So
you
now,
could see from David, as you could see from the results from our customers,
yeah,
it's somewhere between 71 and 84%. It's a huge number. And obviously, if you don't have a problem falling asleep, you have a good sleep quality, and you're energized in the morning, you don't need it.
yeah. It's a very, very interesting product, and the other products that you also have, the one for the daytime and so on, is also very, very interesting. So thank you so much again for the presentation, and I will now introduce the other speaker, Francine. So she's a nutritionist and a juiceologist. How do you pronounce it?
Juiceologist.
Okay, great. So she's the founder. Yeah.
It's a real made up name, but
Yeah. So he's the
Yeah.
founder of Nourish cold pressed juice. He founded the company in 2017, and she's been heading many projects as innovation, the nutritional side of the product, working on new ingredients, new functional properties. So she will now have the chance to tell us more on the product, on the company, and her experience with the HPP technology overall, and the latest innovations that they are implementing into the products. So
Thank
when
you.
you're ready, Francine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, David. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to
Pleasure.
be here and share more about our story. I'm sitting here in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia, at Nourish headquarters, which is at Organic Life Farm. And here is where we have a Department of Ag kitchen, and we press out of our kitchen these handcrafted, delicious juices and elixirs. And we also have an innovative keg that we press for as well that I can share about later. So we have about 10 acres here and an organic, like whole entire garden that we grow a lot of our vegetables and herbs in. And I think that probably one of the most exciting is that I had, launched the Nourish cold pressed juice in a bottle in 2017 after having a Nourish juice bar, a physical brick and mortar that was open. And we wanted to really grow and expand and sell our juice in the bottle, and had learned that we could not do that without it going under the process of HPP. And being in the restaurant retail space, I was not educated on what HPP was. I was pressing fresh juice every day to customers, and did not understand fully. I was not educated on HPP. So I had decided to leave this brick and mortar after being there for 3 years, and really just moving everything up the road, so to speak, about a mile away into the farm, and begin really going under construction to create a Department of Ag kitchen, and learn more about how I was going to sell my juice in a bottle to national grocery stores, co-ops, independent grocery stores, local businesses, and learn that it had to go under this high pressure processing to give it the ability to be safe, and also extend its lifespan, so it had a shelf life. And through that, I had the pleasure and blessing, because it was a gift, to be introduced to Dr. Venezio, I call him. We have become very wonderful friends, and he has been so kind and generous in really educating me on all that I needed to understand around what hyperbaric could do for my product and what HPP really was. I was a little skeptical in the beginning. I was nervous about not understanding the whole process, but I had, to fully educate myself, because then I was going to have to also educate my consumers, my customers, everyone that I was doing business with. So Hyperbaric and Benicio had also put my juice under a validation study. And that is where I also learned that after that successful study, that I would have 75 to 90-day shelf life on the juice. From that, we launched into local businesses, local, fitness, little studios and yoga wellness studios, coffee shops, and bakery cafes, independent grocery stores, co-ops. But we also are one of our, biggest excitements and milestones is that we are in a national grocery store and growing in Giant. And we are very lucky that our juice has been successfully growing on the shelf. They have us on the top of the shelf in the center, really as a spotlight local vendor, which is also really wonderful. And we probably have up to 20 flavors, and then we roll them in and out and have seasonal flavors. So right now you can probably find 8 or 10 up on the shelf. It's a 12-ounce bottle. We are a certified organic company from CCOF. One of the other milestones that I feel is the most important for our company is that we became a certified B Corporation, and that took a year, of just being validated and certified, and that was in 2017. And we have been recertified, and in our third year being recertified in 2021, we fell into the highest exceptional points as a certified B Corp, which is about caring for the planet, caring for people, caring about equality and diversity and sustainability, and how you run your company, and how much we do give back to our community. We won Best for the World in 2018, right when we launched as a certified B Corp, for how much we were giving back to our community. And that is, I have to say, probably how we feel when we wake up every day. What can we do to serve our community? So that is something that's important to us. We decided to partner with 1% for the Planet, which is a nonprofit of Patagonia. And through that, we donate 1% of our annual sales to all these amazing local and global environmental nonprofits that also just are giving back to all the causes we care most about, clean water and, healthy soil and food waste and food security. And we feel really great about that. That's something that gives us tremendous gratitude to be able to have this product that everyone loves, but also be able to give back in many other ways to our community, and now globally through 1% for the Planet. I'd have to say that probably now that it's summer, we are rolling out some seasonal flavors that we can't keep on the shelf. Another really wonderful, innovative product, an ingredient, I should say, one of our star ingredients in one of our products is CBD. Everyone knows what CBD is, and we know that it is non-psychoactive. We know that it is available to take orally, and it's also made into products. However, we have not been able to put our CBD juice in all of our locations, which is up to 100 locations. We do have our CBD juice, which everyone does love, and we can't keep in, to independent grocery markets, co-ops, natural food stores, wellness studios, fitness studios, coffee shops. We're not quite ready yet to be able to put them in the Giant stores or the Whole Foods or the Sprouts quite yet, until the FDA, regulates that bill and opens the pathways for that. But that ingredient has been something that I have believed in as a nutritionist for a very long time. And the reason why I felt that that ingredient would be really important to bring into our product was all the health benefits that it could bring to you, including your mood, influence the mood, and your sleep, pain, anxiety. There's a list, and it is, we all love CBD orally, and it is USDA organic, as our products are all USDA organic. So we handcraft these organic ingredients along with the CBD that bring a more calming health benefit to your overall wellness, your mind, body, and soul. And that's been a lot of fun. We also have the CBD we have a line of like 5 bottles of CBD juices and elixirs, but we also have the CBD in our new innovative sustainable pet tanger keg, which also is really fun. We have a line of juices and ingredients that go in the keg. One has a green sencha tea and CBD, and it's just so delicious on tap. And one of the wonderful things about the keg, as we just launched over this last year, was that we were the first company to innovatively have our juice ingredients and recipe go into a keg and successfully go under HPP with hyperbaric. The hyperbaric team was extremely helpful and excited, along with Pet Tainer's collaboration, to be able to put this 5-gallon keg through an HPP container and have it come out with a shelf life. So all of these, products are thought out very carefully, and also what the health benefit is to your body. And I think that one of the things that I have to say is that I'm so happy and grateful to be here. But hyperbaric has really been just a tremendous partner and also a great support for helping a small startup company like myself to not only be educated and learn so much about what HPP is, but to also help us and really open doors and connect us to a whole entire world of people and an education. I believe that one of the things we talked about a little bit earlier was, what HPP can do for the product, and, how I feel that educating the consumer is important, as there wasn't so much information readily available a few years ago when I was looking into cold pressing with my Good Nature X1 machine and rolling this juice out in a bottle. I, too, had to educate myself. So, Venezio, Anthony, the whole entire team at Hyperbaric has been incredibly helpful. And through that, I'm able to educate my consumers on what high pressure processing is, how beneficial it is for the safety of my products, how it keeps the nutrition, the color, the texture, the taste, and especially the nutrition in the product, and that it's safe. And especially that it can also travel coast to coast, and we can ship it, and all these things really help us to expand and grow and be able to reach a large amount of people all over the nation, and that's really wonderful. So go ahead.
Yeah,
David, you wanted to ask? Yeah.
No, did you want to follow? Anything else?
No, I feel that I am so honored to be here today, and I'm still learning and still showing up, and really just so happy to call Hyperbaric and the team there, our friend and support. It's just really wonderful. And I'm here to also help anyone else that needs to understand what the benefits are of HPP on their product and how wonderful that is.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for your kind words, because we really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure collaborating with you in this interesting project that you just mentioned about the tap juices in the container cakes. That does allow us now to have juices in a tap, so you can have it in any kind of glass, rather than going just to the grocery. So you can have it now in a juice bar or whatever. And the product keeps very delicious and with fresh taste and safe as the ones that are HPP in bottles. Yeah, thank you for showing.
Yes. And David, I just wanted to add something to that I think is important. And now that I have the bottle up and the product up, I think one of the most important questions that people continually and daily ask me is, why is it in plastic? Why do you have your juice in plastic if you're a certified B Corp? Why don't you have it in glass?
Yeah.
So it is about educating them and having them understand that though we are married to putting our juice in this bottle for reasons of it having to be required to go under the high pressure processing, the
Yeah.
HPP, which is, having it go under pressure, and the glass cannot sustain under that kind of pressure. I also know that even though we do put our juice in this bottle, and that's what we are required to do by law, I do everything else in our company, including innovatively creating this juice in a keg, to also really be mindful of our footprint.
Yeah.
And how we can show up to music festivals, large events and venues with our keg, and our juice in our keg without 20,000 bottles. We can show up with the keg. So we are doing the best we can every day to be
Luckily, we have
mindful of that as
alternatives.
plastic.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have some alternatives now, like the tap juices, cakes, and also the bulk
Absolutely.
system that we have also introduced in other sessions of the Innovation Week. So great. And I
Yes.
also love like your holistic approach to the company. Like the fact that the source of the food is influencing the health of the body and the connection to the health of the planet. So it's a very, very nice concept as a company. Very, very interesting. Also, the thing that you mentioned about the CBD beverages that are also connected to the product that Herman was showing at the beginning, that is helping on the mood, on sleeping, with anxiety. That seems like to be the most common problems for the society of today. And
Absolutely. I agree. I feel that when we handcraft a recipe, a juice recipe, as someone that is a nutritionist and really cares about not just putting a juice together, but putting a juice together that has incredibly immune boosting health benefits along with the CBD. We also have this amazing probiotic, organic probiotic that we love, that is also in this, that we love to add to these products that help your immune. And given the wake of that pandemic, we felt that it was important that people understood also what CBD could do, what a probiotic can do for keeping us healthy, our immune boosted.
Yeah.
So important, very important.
Indeed. Okay, so let's bring Sherman to the main screen again, and we will start with the discussion, with the open questions, the Q&A session. We are receiving a lot of questions from our viewers that are sending through the chat. And well, actually, one of the questions that I wanted to ask you regarding packaging have already been solved, because Francine and we just discussed about it. So what I will do is I will start with another one regarding the origin of your companies in the HPP technology. Like, how did you guys know about the HPP technology, and why did you decide to implement it? Let's, if you don't mind, start with Herman as he started speaking, and then I will switch it to you, Francine.
David, thank you. So it was quite interesting because the development of the product took now almost 9 years. So 9 years back, Dr. Axel Bouchon, co-founder, chairman, and scientist, started to develop the product, and he literally cooked it in his home kitchen. As you can imagine, over the years, this was just in his network, people were demanding more and more. So he tried to do it on a bigger scale, not commercially yet at the time, but still. And there was an issue about shelf life. It was just not stable. The product was about 1 week, 2 weeks, and that was it. When we decided together to found the company, which is based in New York, we said, okay, how are we going to tackle this? And I'm the chief supply chain officer. I have the background. I did supply chain logistics at Coca-Cola for many years. So I said, it cannot be as difficult. This was a big mistake. So I learned a lot. And we just had to do really, really a lot of research and talking and learning. I went to 2 organic fairs, one in Copenhagen, one in Germany, just speaking with a lot of people out of my supply chain network, and it was then actually Axel coming up with an idea. He heard something, and then we said, okay, let's have a look at it. And then we found out, okay, actually, it was not a new technology, as we learned, but newly available for us. And then we started to do the first test, and this was about 2.5 years ago. And that was our contact then to HPP. And the reason why we didn't, first of all, the oils are very sensible, and we need the oils to function. If the oils are not, the oils are the building material. So if the oils are not in the full functionality, so if you would heat it up, our product would not work as good as it does. So that's the reason why we said, okay, what's the other alternative? Okay, preservatives. We said, no, that's not our strategy. Definitely not, because there's so many side effects. So, and at the end of the day, we are very happy that we had to do this tough road to search and to try and to learn, and the roller coaster of great results and so on and so on. Yeah.
And then you found us.
Luckily.
Thank you. And what about you, Francine?
I feel the same. Being here on the East Coast, it was all a learning curve. I knew that I was very good at many things as a nutritionist, as a farm table chef, a restaurant owner. We had the beautiful juicer. We could create these amazing handcrafted juices with some star ingredients like the CBD and the probiotics and lavender and, all these functional adaptogens. I did not know anything about high pressure processing, and I didn't even have a full understanding that I really needed to have that in order to launch business to business. So I really leaned on Vinizio, who I was really very lucky that I could lean on him, even though I know he was putting our juice under a validation study, which also was a learning curve for the 90 days. So, he could come back and write our study for the HACCP plan for the Department of Ag, who also was learning just as much as I was, because no one had already had a cold pressed juice kitchen or a Department of Ag juice kitchen. And they also had to learn along with me. So we were learning as a team how to do this and what to do. And I had to make lots of calls and reach out to many people in the industry. Even, we found that there was a local nearby toller, an HPP toller. They were incredibly helpful in the beginning, on having me understand all the steps that I had to take. But Vinizio from Hyperbaric did do the study and did make himself available to help me to understand how important this was and what the process was. And it was a learning curve. It's still a learning curve. We're still growing. We're still learning. I mean, even with the keg, one of the most exciting was being at the grand opening of a giant heirloom market in Philadelphia. And as we were there, we were sampling our juice, and it was really wonderful. And the president came up and asked, why aren't you tapping your juice out of a keg? Can you put it in a keg? Because they have created these innovative tap bars with 40 and 60 taps at these beautiful little European grocery markets up in Philadelphia. And he said, can you do it? And I said, yes. But what I didn't know is if the keg could even go under HPP. So the minute I said yes, I wasn't even home yet. And I was calling and Vinizio, and that led into almost, a year of just trying to figure it all out. There were a lot of no's. Even the people that were tolling my juice said, you can't do that. I'm like, we're going to figure it out. And, we all came together and we figured it was wonderful. And we really worked hard to make it happen. And that was just through a lot of hard work, a lot of research, a lot of calls, teams flying in and testing it out. And that was really wonderful. We achieved the success of HPP all together at a facility with Juice in the Keg, and have recently been tapping it at, the natural expos in Philly and up in California and, venues like Firefly and all over. So couldn't be doing that without all the support and help. It's been wonderful.
Just to clarify, Vinizio is one of our applications guys in the US. in the Miami team, and you will see him in some of the talks of the Innovation Week, and
Yes.
and he's a star. So I'm so happy that you are so happy with his work and so on, and his
Oh,
knowledge.
happy with him and the team there, and even our current HPP toller, which is Dora's. They are wonderful, and they are right up there outside of New York and New Jersey. And some of those folks have all worked with all of you at Hyperbaric, and they have been also just wonderful support, wonderful friends, and also just learning so much from them. Really, we are continually learning from everyone. We really are. So, grateful for that.
Okay, thank you, Francine. So the next question, you have already addressed the topic somehow. I want to ask you just if you want to add anything else regarding your products. What are the most important benefits of HPP in your products? And if you want to just add anything else to what you have already shared. Let's start again with Herman.
Thank you, David. So as I already mentioned throughout the presentation, the microbiology stability is one of the key benefits. Even it was a lot of testing, and that's also one of the reasons, not only HPP, but also the process for the production, what we have set up. But HPP definitely was one of the fundamental cornerstones to make it happen. Then that we retrained in nutrition. So we at the end of the shelf life, we have inside the product what we're promising our consumers. So the product can actually do what it's built to do. It keeps the natural taste, which is for our product not the most important. It's more about the functionality, but it doesn't hurt if it tastes like fresh crisp lime or spicy orange, the other product. But so we're not disappointed. We take it as a very positive benefit. But then obviously one of the most important, it's about the shelf life. And as I mentioned at the story where everything started, 1 to 2 weeks in the home kitchen, and now we have 90 days. Now we have a chance to build a business, and I think that's a big one.
Yeah, indeed. So, Francine, do you want to add anything else?
Oh, I feel the same. I mean, being able to go under the HPP and really choosing to go under HPP is a different path than just having your retail shop and pressing fresh juice, and which, Herman, has to taste really wonderful or no one's going to drink it. So it's always great when it tastes really amazing and delicious and you can taste all the ingredients. So that was really fun, and we do that here, but we would not be able to scale and grow on any level outside of our retail shop, farm shop, without having the HPP. So, and the added benefit is that it does hold the nutrition, it does hold the color, it does hold the taste and the quality ingredients and together. And I think for that, it's even that much better to know that we can use that process, have it go up on a shelf, even if it's 3,000 miles away from Philadelphia to California, and know that it's going to hold a shelf life, get there safely through a cold chain, and show up on the shelf at Erewhon or Whole Foods. And how wonderful is that? I mean, how we can grow and really depend and lean on that for growing and scaling. So
it's not by chance that 60 to 70% of our machines are located in the US. I mean, it's one of the most challenging markets because of logistics, because you have to serve a giant country, and having your product from coast to coast is just a challenge. And thanks to this technology, now you can do it.
And there's so many more right now, given that there's been the pandemic. And so I'm even more grateful that we're able to lean on HPP for selling and for growing and scaling.
Indeed. So the next question has already been answered on how does HPP help to keep the bioactivity of the key components of your product. So unless you guys want to add anything else, I will skip the question if you are okay with it, or do we want to explain anything else?
Maybe just, Francine, if it's okay, just quick. The reason why our product is so sensible not only because of the essential fatty acids, so the oils, the amino acids, and the vitamins, and the organic fruit juice. It's also it's like brain fuel, and I wouldn't see
I
any other
love that.
possibility. Yeah, I wouldn't see any other possibility than using HPP, because you need the full functionality of every single ingredient that our product can actually work.
Mhm.
So without HPP and the support from hyperbaric, we would not be there where we are.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Also, I think it's important to note for all those that are watching, when also I am asked, how do you know if you've achieved the success of the 25 milligrams of CBD or that probiotic serving of, in your juice? How do you know that it's still there after it's been under the high pressure? So we have, in fact, it was wonderful. We were doing business and collaborating with two different companies that are under one roof, Ambassador and Source, and Felipe from Source, who we sourced the water soluble CBD from, sent us to a lab. And it was wonderful. We sent all our products there. And through that, we received COA. The COA was wonderful. I had my fingers crossed. Wasn't certain. There was no one to reach out to. No one could give us the answer. So the lab came back. The results were successful. The CBD was there. The probiotic was there. And I think, that's another really important, notation, I think, for all business. And Herman probably will agree that, making sure you're just crossing T's and dotting I's, and that you're using all your resources, to be transparent about your product out there.
Yeah.
And what you're putting in is going under HPP, that it's still all there after HPP and the pressure.
I can only 100% agree.
Yeah.
It's to be 100% transparent about what's inside the product, that the ingredients are safe and how they're working, and with the chemical analysis after the shelf life. And we even go 4 weeks, 8 weeks after the shelf life just to learn, because we're just at the starting point as a company, what's actually happening with the product. And this is so important that we can rely on what's inside the product.
We have done the same. And Venezio actually recommended that years ago, and we still do it. When we roll out a new product, like the CBD or adaptogens or the probiotic, we like to hold it back and then open it every 2 or 3 weeks and see for ourselves, what does it really taste like? Is it still really wonderful? And it is. And sometimes you have expired drinks, that you forgot about, and you like, what does that taste like? And they're great. A week later, you're like, how is that so great? But I think it's amazing. Even after 75 days, and if you're day 90 or 100, it's amazing. The drinks still taste amazing. It's wonderful. Colors there, everything's there. Really is. Really is.
So linked to this question that you guys have already addressed, the fact that how difficult is, not how difficult, how important is to be transparent to the consumer. So regarding communication with the consumers, do you find it difficult to communicate the advantages or the differences of your product compared to others that they can find out there in the supermarket shelves or online? How do you see your product perception of or position and compared to others in the same category? How do you guys manage with this? Let's start with Herman again.
Okay, we keep the same order. Thank you, David. So it's a bit difficult to answer because we don't, and this should not sound arrogant, but we don't have a real competition out there, because we're not competing in selling melatonin. We're not competing in selling just sleeping aids. We are selling the building materials for your body, that it can actually do what it's made to do naturally. So that's a different story and a different educational road we have to go. We just recently conducted a market research and a customer research. And what we have learned is that there's like 4 stages where people make decisions if they have problems sleeping, what they're trying to do. One is like, okay, buying different kind of teas, breathing exercises. If this, the first level doesn't really work, they're going into meditation. They might go into intentional products like different podcasts or stories which help them, and then it's about supplements. So if these first stages are not helping, they go into I need something else, because it's a real problem. It's not something a nice to have or a like to have. It's a real problem, and that's where we come into play as an alternative, as a natural one, as for natural sleep. And we're communicating HPP. We're communicating. We have a video with 100% transparency. People can see how we are working, which was a big risk at the beginning because the patents were not submitted at the time. But we wanted to show people what are the ingredients, how we're putting them together, how is this actually working. At the market research and especially at the customer survey, we didn't get great feedback about it, because either people were purchasing us because they were so desperate because they wanted to have an alternative to artificial melatonin or any sleeping pill. And the second one is, it was important that these are safe ingredients, that they can trust what we're putting inside. And there, I think HPP plays a big role, but I'm not sure that we're really successful yet in communicating.
Yeah, well, it will come. It will come. It's you are just starting, and it will come.
Yeah, it will. It will. I believe, and I will agree with Herman, for our company, the transparency is, as a certified B Corp, and being USDA certified organic, transparency is at the top. From where we buy the bottles, where we buy the labels, where the ingredients are coming from, who we're doing our business with, where we're sourcing everything out, how we're running the company. I believe that, not to be arrogant, like Herman said, obviously for cold pressed juice, there are many companies out there. Cold pressed juice is become a very, very big trend and big popular product that's out there. We're here on the East Coast, so I feel that I can say that we don't have as many cold pressed juice companies here at all that there are out on the West Coast. But I do feel that we are completely set apart. I can stand by the fact and say very truly and with transparency that our company and our product does stand apart on the shelf because we are a certified B Corp. We are 1% of the planet, using sales to give back. And we also, have this amazing product that is 1% for the planet. It's all these wonderful certifications. And the organic component, when you look up on the shelf, you really don't see that everyone really cares as much about the product. So I think we do stand out. I believe we do. And I think that has helped us to grow and scale and stand out at Natural Product East and West. And to say, hey, look, we have worked really hard to be certified and verified in the things that really matter to us the most. And it's really proven to be successful.
Yeah, and it shows. It shows. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, so I think I will close the session. I will, give you, if you want to add anything else before we say goodbye, it's your turn. And so if you want, guys.
Yeah, please. I would also like to bring two people into the play because they help big time. One in the US was Joyce Longfield. She's a real HPP expert, and it's a pleasure working with her.
Yeah.
And also Hubert Aust, who is the owner and managing director of a manufacturing company using hyperbaric equipment. And he just recently bought a second one, which is great because we just have more capacity and also contingency if needed. And they were both very important so far and still are. So I just want to also thank them.
Thank you, Herman. It's so kind of you. These two people that you just mentioned, they are very good friends to Hyperbaric. Yes. So yeah, and Francine, she also knows very well Joyce.
Oh, I think Joyce is wonderful. Everyone that I've met that has been under the Hyperbaric umbrella and extended out, to the HPP tollers. and especially, who we're working with, Roberto. And I love Roberto at Hyperbaric. I didn't mention him, so I'll do the same. I have to say thank you to him. Roberto at Hyperbaric has also been incredibly supportive and cheering us on and available to us. And the folks over at Dora's that are very close by are there for us, helping us to scale and grow along, with co-packing. So, and they're all weaving in, working together. So, the Dora's, HPP Toller, the co-packer, everybody has just worked so hard to help us to grow and scale. So I'm just so incredibly grateful.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, guys, so last, I will recommend our viewers to go to your websites to find out more about your product. So please go to brainluxury.com and nourishjuicebar.com.
Right.
And please find out more about the products, where to find it, where to buy it, and the benefits and the history of the companies behind. Thank you so much, and see you guys soon. And thank you so much to all our viewers. See you in the next session.
Nice meeting
you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet everyone. Cheers.
Bye.